We only have time for one more question. Before I get to that question, Steph, blink 3 times if LeBron is coming to the Warriors.
As a filmmaker, author, and publisher, I was honored to be invited to the 2026 Social Impact Summit Los Angeles. The event, held July 22nd, was held at the Directors Guild of America in Hollywood and brought together inspiring voices from entertainment, sports, business, and philanthropy. Come along with me as I share a few memorable moments, and then I'll let the sights and the sounds tell the rest of the story.
Can I come in? Okay. I love it. The bold lip.
Thank you.
Like a little closer.
Create things when you see gaps in other areas. And so by the investment, what I'll say is this, and as an HIV specialist and a clinician, I can still say that of all the new HIV diagnoses in the United States, about 40% are among Black people and about 50% are in the South. And I'm based in Atlanta, Georgia, originally from Schenectady, New York, but migrated down because I couldn't stand the snow.
In the media, in our daily lives, then, just like it's hard to find, a mental coach, it is hard to find a lot of Black successful stories, and we're all successful, and so it shouldn't be a surprise. It should be, something that's in your face and every day, and once we have that destination, that can be accomplished.
Karamo, this question, because the people in that space are not changing, then the infrastructure is not changing. And so again, this message is just saying to people, look at what you're doing in your own lives. If we want a greater change, we learned this from Michael Jackson told us all, you gotta look at the man in the mirror, right? That I'm just saying, like, you gotta start from there. You gotta start from there, because honestly, if you don't do that, if you don't look at that, then why would any organization want to come in and change it? They're just going to follow your lead. This is what you're hearing. They're just going to follow. It's a challenge for you to say, well, what are you saying and doing in your own life? And who are you affecting? Because when we talk about the infrastructure and we start getting into that, it starts with what you're doing at home. And then, as you said, culture matters. It then turns into how people are then saying, oh, okay, I see the shift in what you're doing, so I need to follow that shift in mental health. I see the shift in what's happening in this space, so I'm going to follow it. I just can't.
Extraordinary group of philanthropists. Thank you for the work that you do. Thank you to Gilead Sciences for supporting this initiative. Thank you.
I once sent a note while I was on deployment to a random email address at a research lab saying how badly I miss my wife and kids. And that it would mean the world to me if my favorite musician could somehow play our wedding song for my wife. It was a message in a bottle that was cast out to people who knew a famous guitar player. I never could have imagined how much that famous guitar player actually cared, how much he understood the complexity of mental health, how much he understood the paradoxes of being in the military, that the drive to give is stronger than the drive to receive. A few years later, my wife and I stood at the Wiltern Theater in the city with veteran friends that we met through Heart and Armor, and we slow danced to our song, performed just for us in person by the man who wrote it. What a blessing it's been to struggle, to heal, to thrive, to keep serving as part of a military family, but also as part of a Heart and Armor family. And as a remarkable bonus, to be honoring the man who got that message in a bottle, who helped my wife and I, who honored my wife and I that day at the Will Turn. Our enduring supporter, our favorite musician, and our friend, John Mayer.
Puzzle, this is very physiological. PTSD is very physiological, and through Gerard and formerly N. Sears' work and now Heart and Armor's work, they are beginning to put mental health into a physiological, scientific, empirical category, which is the best news you could possibly hope to get about mental health. Because the trickiest part about mental health is that it's kind of like a dream or a wish. It's amorphous. And the idea of pinning it down into indexable, objective physiology is a relief to people. And I found that was like, I could get my head into that. And then the other side was explaining to people who were a year behind me at that point that what PTSD is not a car backfires and you jump to the ground. It's people who get upset when they want to meet with their friends at 8 p.m. and their friends are 15 minutes late, and what that does to somebody. And I've never been deployed, I never will be deployed, but I got it. I think so much understanding in the world is not based on experience, it's just based on a little bit of understanding and stretching out. I get it. I get how somebody could be upset or someone could, the smell of diesel fumes could bring something back. We all have this sense recall we wish we didn't have. We could all name 3 things that we don't want to come into contact with. So the way in which this was presented to me, I know how to help tell this story, and then Gerard knew how to help with the science, and I think that has been a great collaboration for 15 years.
Well, that's John. You are an incredible storyteller, and this is an incredible story to tell.
Talking about moving things from the weight on your shoulders of why, how, this is me. There's no place else to put mental health than on your own shoulders. And there is no place to put mental health when you don't want to think about mental health. You can only be distracted from it. And when you come back to it, it's heavier. And you begin to take things off of the pile of, this is me, over to, this is in me, it belongs to some subsystem of me, but the chart you got from me yesterday is the same image you'll get from me today if you run me through the MRI. It's less of that psychic weight and more of an externalized challenge, which happens to be the challenges that veterans really like way more than the internal challenge is the external challenge. And anytime you show someone that their internal challenge can become an external challenge, they become more engaged in that, like we all would.
Welcome to Los Angeles. 35 years ago, Michael J. Fox got some very bad news. Most people handed something like that, endure it. Michael went right to work. Playing Paul Rhodes on Shrinking gave me some understanding of what it means to live with Parkinson's. It also gave me Michael as an actor, as a friend, and the most stubborn optimist I know. Through him, I've seen what his foundation does. Fill the gaps in the research, get the right people in the room, raise $3 billion and counting. From day one, they've been clear about the goal. Find a cure, and then close the door for good. That's the promise he made to the millions living with this disease. This award is a testament to how hard he and Debbie have worked to keep it. Please welcome Debbie Brooks and Michael J. Fox.
What's that? Yeah. This is pretty smooth. How you guys doing? Created over the years are about mentorship. And one of the first mentors I had, Gary David Goldberg and Michael J. Fox. I created a show with Gary and Mike when I was 26 called Spin City. And Mike shaped my voice back then. And I'm telling you this because I remember hearing about the diagnosis. My grandfather had Parkinson's at the time. My father currently has Lewy bodies with Parkinson's. And what I was struck by was how it paralyzed my family when we heard that stuff, and how quickly Mike made the transition from saying, I'm retiring, to suddenly working harder than anybody I've ever met in my life. And a voice to some optimism and some hopefulness that get this ball rolling.
Well, the thing is, my background was that I moved to the States when I was 17 to be an actor, and I came from a class. My father was a military, my mother was a payroll clerk. You didn't have a life like I have. It just was ridiculous, and I did it, and so that has always been with me. Like you said, now they call it manifesting. It was a bullshit to make it. Manifesting. So, but it happens. So it's the same thing here. It's like this will happen because I say, we'll do it. And there's nothing magical about it. Put all our heart into it, our soul into it. We always say, like I said, purity of motive. We have no other agenda than to get this done. And it was, and as pieces started falling in, I just knew that it would happen. I knew that. And we got people to believe us and believe in what we're doing. And the other thing was really great was, but 5 years, 6 years in, it occurred to me that this was really about patience. And the more we bring patients in, their insight and their experience, I would say to them, like when you go to your doctor, you're the expert. You know what you're feeling, you know what you're experiencing. Not to diminish their expertise and their qualifications, but know that you have a right to know what you can get, what you can contribute to, what you get it done. And the answer to the question is, I just knew that we could do it, and I knew that money is points. Same show business. Money is points. The more money comes in, you must be winning. If money comes in, we must be winning, and then we start to win. We start to get wins.
I'll say the other thing I saw, well, first of all, even me when I was interviewing, I thought, ooh, Michael Fox, that can scale. And I have to be really empathetic. It is so hard to scale a nonprofit. We heard people talking this morning about how hard it is to get unrestricted dollars for operating expenses. This is really, really hard. And I'd done a little bit of work in some nonprofit areas, and I thought, oh, I have a shot. Like, that we're gonna get some attention. But what I really saw that I think turned into the hope was those patients, the ones who were in that chat room with you and didn't know it was you until you kind of unveiled, and the ones who started coming right
them through the magic of video. They should be right here on the screen right now. Steph and Ayesha, are you here with us?
We are here.
Yay! In the same room and everything. Hi. So this won't be awkward at all over video.
We'll make it work. We'll make it work. We apologize we couldn't be there in person.
That's right, yeah. We're Oakland folks, so we know how to make it work, right? The adopted hometown.
Yeah, we were blessed in 2009 when I heard my name called and had no idea about the future, obviously, at that point. But that was where we started our adult journey, if you will, as a couple, starting our family, playing in front of some of the greatest fans in the NBA. There's so much pride being from Oakland, representing the town. And as we got familiar with the area, started to meet people, be in the community, feel that love and support back, it felt like home pretty much immediately. Literally, I know we'd spend just finishing 17 years in the Bay, but from jump, it felt like home, and for us to be able to set up our foundation there, after a decade, and really understanding what our impact was going to be. I think we are super proud and beyond excited about the work that we're doing in our home.
What advice would you two give to other people in your position, other professional athletes, other philanthropists, other power couples, other pop culture icons? What advice would you give to people who have the kind of resources you have and want to help? How do they build the framework?
You don't do it yourself. Partners are so important. Community partners are so important. At least that's how it's been for us. And oftentimes you find that you can amplify your work 10x just by strategizing with the right room of people. And so it took me a long time as well to understand that. And so I just feel like that's the way you get stuff done.
I'd add too, that's a great shout out for our team at
Yes.
Eat, Learn, Play in our organization. We've been blessed with some amazing leadership that, to Ayesha's point, takes big ideas, brings a discipline to them, a follow through. That feedback loop has been awesome. And then the trust that's been built over the 7+ years that we've been doing this, and as our team has grown, maintaining that culture of how we do things at Eat, Learn, Play. But I'd also say, Ayesha mentioned No Kid Hungry. I work with an organization called Thanks USA back in the day on scholarships for active military personnel and their families. Just show up and get engaged. I think you don't have to have this grand thesis of how you're going to change the world. I think that can come over time as you get active. That's how we formed Eat, Learn, Play. Like we try to do as much as we could, as often as we could, and that gave us clarity on where we wanted to show up, and that took a decade. So our first, my rookie year, my first event we did was with Monte Ellis. For all the diehard Dub Nation fans, you know who that is, but him and his wife Juanica invited us to one of their Thanksgiving drives, and we were newcomers in Oakland, we've only been there for like 3 months, and to Ayesha's point, that gave us a vision of the community that we wanted to help just because we were able to show up and they invited us. So just get active. Don't think you have to, have this grand thesis or plan, this master plan of, how you're going to change the world. I think that can come over time.
What a profound joy and honor it is for me to be back here in Los Angeles, surrounded by so many brilliant change makers, creatives, activists, and beautiful souls at the 2026 Social Impact Summit.
We have 100,000 employees, and we attract people in our front line that are helpers and that are givers. We have former teachers, we have former EMTs, people that want to help and give. And so they do that for you when you are out traveling with us, but they also invest so much of their time to volunteer. We put up an opportunity to volunteer with the YMCA, and it'll be gone in minutes, if not seconds. We actually don't have enough capacity for as many employees who want to volunteer. So it is such a part of our DNA. I think that we know through research that attracts people to come and work with us. And so it's just extremely important for us, and I think something that we could do better about telling that story.
And of course, there's nothing like a lively reception after all the business is said and done. Thank you so much for watching. I am Sonia Jenkins. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me, and I will see you very soon. Have a great day and believe the best is yet to come.